Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to talk about my German coins, which ranges from 1918 to 38, and then I go down the line. This one's 1959. So I'm going to talk about each of these. I'm not going to talk about them heavily, but I am going to have my little book here on some of my coins. It starts off in 40 through 45. I don't have all these wrote down. It's more of my zinc ones here that I have wrote down from like this 1940 all the way to 1944 here. But these are the maker marks, which still correlate to 1918 all the way to 59, I believe. So you can read that. This is what I got down as in Berlin, Germany, and all that stuff. The only ones I don't own is the E, the F, and the J. Besides that, I believe I have every single one of these. Now, a lot of these are one Reichspfennings from World War II. But if we start off here, this is World War One. I zoom in a bit. You can see down towards the bottom, like right around there, you can kind of see a faint A. That A is meaning it was made in Berlin, Germany. And this is a World War One coin. 5 Reichspfennig. Well, Reichspfennig basically. Or Pfennig. I'm not sure whether you'd call it a Reichspfennig because it says Reich there and then it says Pfennig there. I'm going to say Pfennig because that's what I feel like for this one, because I think World War II they started calling them Reichspfennigs. I don't know. I'm not sure. I wish I figured that one out. But here you can see I have a 1938. I don't know what this is made of. I wish I knew. It's kind of interesting because it's definitely not gold, but if it is, that's kind of cool. But it makes me think it's like a gold alloy almost. That's what it makes me think of, but I don't know, probably not. It could be bronze. I don't think so though. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But it's really interesting. 1938, whatever it's made of, 5 Reichspfennig, and it's marked G, which I like this coin. It's really interesting. But since it has a G on there, that means it was made in Karlsruhe, Germany, which I probably mispronounced that, but you know. Next one is 1940, as you can see here, which let me straighten it out a bit. I'm not going to go every coin like this probably, but we'll see. This one's 1940. If I actually skip my pages, you can see I did mark down for my zinc ones, like how many I have of each one for what letter, because I am looking to collect it like that at some point. And just a quick thing, 1940, you got everyone. Same with 41, 42, 43, 44. Besides, I think J, but slowly they got rid of J, I guess. And then 1945, you're just down to Berlin, and E, which was Dresden. Which the interesting thing is, if you go back, since that's E, that's Dresden, which I don't own any 45s, they're fairly expensive. Dresden was firebombed in World War II in 1945. So that's kind of interesting. I'd love to own one with an E marking. But back to this, you know, this is a 40, which I probably just showed what the thing was. But you can see it's a G, so obviously that's made in Karlsruhe, Germany. Which like I said, probably mispronounced that. I am not fluent in German by any means, but this is my only 1941 here. Probably a bit hard to read, but it is 41. A lot of these were probably dug up or something, if I had to take a guess. They look like they've been in sand or dirt or something. But that's a B marking, which since that's a B, that was made in Vienna, Austria. That's a 1 Reichspfennig, which as you can see on the World War II ones, it says Reichspfennig on the top there, which I wish I can get this thing to focus. I am not recording in 4K because I was having trouble with that today. I don't know what was up with it. I could not figure it out for the life of me. But here we move on to 1942. This one here is interesting to me because it's A, right? Yeah, it's an A. I can zoom in a bit. And see, clear as day, that's an A, which means that was made in Berlin, which is the capital of Germany at that time. This one I believe was a B or a D. Let me see. That looks like a B. So that would mean it was made in Vienna, Austria, which was an ally of Germany at that time. I'll organize that a bit later. This one's also a 42. This one was, I think, D. That's a D. So that was made in Munich, Germany. And then if I move on to the next one, which is 43. 43, as you can see. This is A, so it was made in Berlin. And this is another 43. This is like a really nice example here. This is a B, so that was made in Vienna, Austria. And the next one, another 43, as you can see, which is really hard to tell, but it's a 43. It's either that or a 40, but I'm pretty sure it's a 43. It's another B. So obviously Vienna, Austria. And now we move on to 44, which is like second to last year of the war. So you can see 44. It's a decent example, not the craziest, like good example, but you can kind of still see it. It's pretty good. That's an A, so Berlin. Next one is another 44, fairly good example. This one is a B, so made in Vienna, Austria. Another 44, probably my best example of a 44. That's a D, so that was made in Munich, Germany. And now we move away from World War II into the Cold War. Now, both of these coins here were made in the Cold War. Same mint mark, they're F, so Stuttgart, Germany. Both marked 1950. They are 10 Pfennig. My only German 10 Pfennigs at the moment. Like I said, they got an F mint mark right there on the top, which I'll move this one away so I can kind of zoom in and show it better. As you can see, really nice looking one. I really like it personally. They're really nice looking coins. That's like a really good example there. This one's got a lot of blemish to it. Oxidation and all that. I don't know what they're made of. I wish I knew what these coins were made of. Like, that's the thing. They don't look like these zinc ones here. They look more like they got some sort of coating on them to make them a different color. They're made of something else. I don't know. But judging by the fact it's like that, they're probably coated with like some coloration. Because I believe that's the same thing the Americans did with copper pennies. I'm not sure. But like I said, this one has an F mint mark as well. Next two coins to go over are these two here, also 1950. Both are 50 Pfennigs, which they've made these back in World War II, and they made these pre-World War II. This one's obviously 1950, so it's after all of that, during the Cold War. Same with this one mark here. But these are 50 Pfennigs. These, I believe, have the same mint mark, if memory serves me correct. They are actually J, I believe that is, which are probably my only J mint marks. Let me see, that's a J. So what about this one? I actually never really looked at that. That's a J, that's an F, as you can see. And 50 Pfennigs. So that would mean this one was made in Hamburg, Germany, and this one was made in Stuttgart, which are both in West Germany at that time. And then this one is a 1 mark. F marking, Stuttgart, basically. And it's a 1 mark. I don't know how to pronounce that, but if I did, I would butcher it. It's Deutsche Mark. I probably just mispronounced that. Deutschmark? I don't know. I am terrible at German, but 1959 is what that says there, as you can see. Made in Stuttgart, and that's pretty much all my German coins. You know, I am looking to expand my collection, because, you know, I want to get some that are World War I and pre-World War I, want to get some more of these types, want to get a bunch more zinc ones and stuff like that. So yeah, if you ever recommend any ways to go and collect more of these, let me know down below in the comments. And if you like these coins videos, let me know, because I have a short I can make on a Russian coin I own. And that's the end of this video. See you all in the next one.